The motion is simple, modest in its ask, but could be quite effective if done well. So I would ask all of you to support that as a friendly amendment to Councillor Cole's motion. Madam Speaker, it's interesting that a nutty character in the White House has somehow, enabled us to find our Canadianismo again, right? How amazing is that? He uses this tactic, right, where he lobs these bombs and appears to be irrational and has probably got a grand plan afoot, but that nobody's clear on, and he destabilizes everybody. He's got friends and foes looking at him and saying, "What's this guy all about? What's he doing?" And I got to tell you, I bet you the biggest people scratching their heads today about what the president is doing is his closest friends and allies across the United States of America. I want to take you all back in time for a second. Remember when this country used to have its own plans about how we were going to create and establish our own sovereignty? Who remembers FIRA, the Foreign Investment Review Agency? Nobody remembers that, right? Well, we used to have a FIRA, a Foreign Investment Review Agency that used to monitor foreign content and foreign ownership of Canadian goods and companies. Gone. Who remembers public ownership of Petro-Canada? We were going to take over and control our own natural resources, right? Because we deemed those to be important and they were in the national interest. Where's that? Gone. Why are all those things gone? Well, you remember the two amigos, right? Conservative guy in Ottawa, right? What was his name again? I forgot his name. Mulroney. That was his name. Brian Mulroney was Prime Minister of the country, right? And Ronald Reagan, his good old buddy, Republican buddy down south, what did they do? Free trade, right? Remember they said to us, oh, we got to buy into this liberal, global, economic concept where we got to take down all these barriers and let capital run freely across the planet. And we will all be better off for it because it'll trickle down. All that wealth it'll generate. Open your pockets, folks, because it's all going to trickle down and rain in and fill those pockets of yours. We bought into that. And then they added a third amigo, right? Who remembers the third amigo's name? And what did that all do? Free trade. NAFTA, right? It put us through the worst economic recession of our time. It killed the Canadian economy. It killed Canadian jobs. It sent them all overseas. It decimated our manufacturing sector. I dare you find a pair of shoes made in Canada. The list could go on and on and on. We made the adjustment. We made the adjustment to the benefit of the Americans, to the massive benefit of the Americans. And now, lo and behold, you got a guy who's, I guess, a Republican as well. Maybe he's a Republican, maybe he's not a Republican, right? But he certainly twisted the heads of many of the folks who are in the Republican Party across from coast to coast in the United States. He's got them all twirling around saying, oh my God, what's this all about? Is he going to turn the clock back? Is he going to turn all our friends into foes? Well, this is certainly is a way of doing that. Putting this country through an economic adjustment all over again. A deep recession, similar to what we experienced in the early 90s when we made that adjustment to free trade, is just mind-numbing. It is mind-numbing for him to even propose to do something so hideous. But here we are, and we need to react. So my little modest motion says, you know what? Clearly identify what's Canadian, and we should all go out and buy Canadian and support Canadian industries, Canadian jobs, buy Canadian products, might cost a little more, but at the end of the day, we'll all benefit a great deal more from it. Thank you all so very much.